Yo, what up guys, Mysterious here, and today we're going to be looking at the new Jayce items and runes. So let's break them down. We're going to be starting with the runes. Most commonly, and I think in most matchups, Phase Rush is the best rune currently, and I'd like to combine that with Mana Flow Band. I'd like to combine it with Transcendence because there's less CDR in the game, and you can either go Scorch or Gathering Storm, depending on what type of matchup that you're playing. Do you think the game's going to take long? Do you think the game is going to be over or very, very snowbally? Then we go Scorch. If it's going to be scaling, we go Gathering Storm. Secondary, you can go Boots and you can go Triple Tonic. I think Triple Tonic is actually a really good rune for Jayce because it grants him mainly the level 9, the skill point. Jayce is a champion that doesn't put points in ult, so all three of his abilities have insanely high value if you put points into them. So that makes the Triple Tonic actually a very good option on Jayce. And it also, the Adaptive Force that you get from the second potion is also really nice because of the fact that Adaptive Force basically can allow you to win a skirmish that you otherwise wouldn't win. Jayce AD ratios are really high, so the damage output difference is extremely high as well. Then Cookies is always nice. So Phase Rush most commonly. Of course, you can also still run the Conqueror setup. Of course, you can also still run the First Strike setup. But in my experience, Phase Rush has been the most consistent one. And Transcendence, in my opinion, also really, really important. Now we're going to get to the real juice, which are the items. So the items have changed up a little bit. And I'm going to be covering the items that I think are playable onto Jayce. So as you can see right here, this is Lolalytics, by the way, it gives all the stats of all the items right here. What we can see is most commonly Ghostblade's being built, and it has a pretty solid win rate. I do think Ghostblade is actually a very good option. I think Ghostblade, I think Eclipse and Opportunity are the best 3 starting items for Jayce, depending on what the situation needs. If you want more lethality, more damage, you get Opportunity. If you play against melees or a melee heavy comp, you play Eclipse. Eclipse is a very solid item still. And if you want more move speed, you basically go Ghostblade. All 3 items really, really good. Let's talk about the Voltaic Psycho Sword right here. I'm not the biggest fan of this item because Jayce is most of the times not really reliant on auto attacking. So being forced to have that extra auto and play around energized is not really what Jayce wants. So it's a bit awkward item on Jayce. Hydra, we don't need at all. And I think that the Sunderer item, surprisingly high win rate. I think it's pretty good onto Jayce, but the dangerous part with this item is that it's currently bugged onto Jayce. And if you use this Sundered item and with the W, if you auto-attack reset with your W, you can proc it twice on the same target with the crit effect. So it's a little bit bugged, and I'm not sure if the win rate is because people know it's bugged and are abusing it, or if it's actually good. So keep an eye on this item, but don't necessarily say, okay, this is the best one. As for boots, I think Ionians are extremely good. Ability haste is less common in the builds, so getting that extra ability haste onto the Ionian boots is really, really valuable. Second item, right? Always go Muramana, in my opinion. Muramana is still core to Jayce. One thing I didn't touch upon and one thing that I do want to touch upon is starting items. As we go to starting items right here, the highest win rate is Longsport Refill, because they did change Doran's to give it Lifesteal instead of Omnivamp, which is a bit less good for Jayce, because Jayce did really use the Omnivamp really well with all of his abilities. Jayce is a very ability-reliant champion. So Doran's Blade got a little bit less valuable for Jayce, and that might make Longsport Refillable a little bit better onto him. But still, if we need the health to contest the lane, or if we want to play a little bit faster, then Doran's Blade is still a very good option. Same as Doran's Shield in the matchups that you absolutely need it. So all 3 are very possible. I think you want to play a little bit slower, Longsport, a little bit faster, Doran's Blade. As for third item, what really worked well for me has been I'm not sure how to call it right now. It's still Surreal as Grudge. Has been extremely, extremely good for me. And the nice thing about Surreal Dust is that it now also scales on lethality. So what you can then do is, as fourth item, you can then go Edge of Night, and then you get a lot of armor penetration, a lot of lethality, and you just deal a lot of damage as Jayce. And Edge of Night still isn't the most expensive item, so you just get a lot of nice stats that help you in general. Spear of Sojin is still good, but it's still pretty expensive, and we gotta find a good angle to buy it. So if you think like you need the health or you really want more haste, okay, feel free to buy Spear of Sojin a little bit sooner. And post Muramana, third item, it's always a bit up in the air, right? It's always very flexible. GA is still really, really good, and you can also double down onto the lethality. As long as you understand what the main first item buys and what boots are preferenced, and the second item is going to be Muramana, and that you understand the starting items. So that's the state of Jayce currently. Jayce took a little bit of a hit, in my opinion. I think Jayce is a little bit weaker. But still, we need to check how he's going to be doing overall. And what I think is really important is that you guys try different stuff, feel what works well for you, and that you try to play with that. So if you guys have any questions with it, which is completely understandable with this new season, put them in the comments below. I will get back to you, and we're gonna see how this evolves further, and I'll update it if necessary. So let me know if you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you guys have any questions.